Mary Cassatt was born in 1844 in Allegheny City, Pennsylvania, a community that would later become part of Pittsburgh. And from early childhood, her life was marked by both privilege and a growing sensitivity to the world around her. Raised in a comfortable, well-to-do family, she was exposed to literature, travel, and the arts, which would lay the groundwork for her lifelong passion for creative expression. Even as a young girl, Cassatt exhibited a keen interest in drawing and a profound desire to capture the subtleties of human emotion. This early attraction to art set her on a course that would eventually redefine not only her own destiny, but also the role of women in the art world. Despite the societal expectations placed on women at the time, Mary Cassatt's family recognized her talent and supported her artistic ambitions. However, like many women of her era, she faced significant challenges in obtaining a formal education in the arts. In her early years, she received private tutoring and studied local art collections, which provided her with a solid foundation in artistic techniques. With a natural inclination towards understanding human nature and everyday scenes, she began to develop a style that focused on the intimate aspects of domestic life. Early sketches and studies reveal an inquisitive young artist determined to document the subtleties of expression, gesture, and the atmosphere of daily existence. In 1865, determined to further her education and expand her artistic horizons, Cassatt traveled to Europe. The cultural richness and vibrant art scene of Paris, in particular, captivated her. In this bustling metropolis, she found an environment that not only challenged her technical skills, but also encouraged her to embrace new ideas about art and society. Paris in the mid-19th century was undergoing dramatic changes, with innovative art movements beginning to question established conventions. Amid this ferment, Mary Cassatt encountered a world where traditional academic styles coexisted with emerging modernist perspectives. The exposure to varied artistic philosophies played a crucial role in shaping her approach, as she learned to balance academic precision with a more natural, honest representation of her subjects. During her early years in Paris, Cassatt studied the works of prominent European artists and absorbed influences from both the old masters and contemporary figures. While she initially trained with academic instructors, it was the unorthodox approaches of the avant-garde that eventually steered her away from conventional artistic traditions. This period of learning was instrumental in her evolution. She began to value spontaneity and the emotional resonance of her work over rigid adherence to form. Although she encountered criticism and skepticism for her modern leanings, these experiences only fueled her determination to pursue a distinctive artistic path. The challenges of integrating into an art scene that was still largely dominated by male artists inspired her to work even harder, cultivating a unique blend of sensitivity, technical expertise, and innovative spirit. Cassatt's personal life during this period was as transformative as her artistic journey. In Paris, she became part of a vibrant expatriate community of artists and intellectuals. These associations provided her with both the social support and the critical dialogue necessary to refine her ideas about art. Conversations with fellow artists, critics, and thinkers encouraged her to explore themes that celebrated the everyday moments of life, particularly those revolving around family and relationships. Her work began to reflect a deep empathy for the human condition, a characteristic that would ultimately define her legacy. Even as she faced the obstacles inherent to being a woman in a predominantly male sphere, Cassatt's resilience and unyielding commitment to her art positioned her as a pioneer among women artists. Beyond her technical growth and evolving artistic perspective, Cassatt also began to engage with the broader social and cultural issues of her time. The rapidly changing roles of women in society, coupled with shifts in family dynamics and social expectations, resonated with her own experiences and observations. Her growing awareness of these issues informed her art and lent it a timeless quality, one that documented the complexities of modern life while remaining intimate and heartfelt. In a sense, her early work served not only as personal expression, but also as a subtle commentary on the shifting societal landscape. Through her keen observations of the bonds between mothers and children, and the nuanced interactions within family settings, Cassatt contributed to a broader dialogue about the roles and rights of women in society. As her reputation began to solidify, Mary Cassatt became increasingly determined to establish herself as a respected artist on both sides of the Atlantic. Her continuous refinement of style, along with her passionate embrace of modern ideas, positioned her uniquely within the art world. Cassatt's journey was not merely about mastering painting techniques. It was about forging an identity that transcended traditional expectations. Despite the many challenges she encountered, from societal constraints to artistic skepticism, Cassatt's early years laid the foundation for a career that would eventually leave an indelible mark on the world of art. By the close of this formative period, Mary Cassatt had already begun to disrupt prevailing norms through her thoughtful engagement with the everyday. Her transition from a curious, privately educated young artist to a determined and innovative painter in a rapidly evolving artistic landscape was a testament to her resilience and visionary outlook. The seeds of her later achievements were planted during these early years, as she navigated a world of shifting artistic paradigms with courage and integrity. In this crucial phase of her life, Cassatt not only honed her craft, but also initiated a dialogue between tradition and modernity, one that would ultimately redefine the contributions of women in art and inspire generations to come. Mary Cassatt's professional journey entered a period of dynamic transformation after her formative years in Paris. By the late 1860s and early 1870s, she had become increasingly immersed in the vibrant artistic circles of the French capital, and this immersion catalyzed both her stylistic evolution and her growing influence within the art world. As she navigated these new social and professional landscapes, Cassatt emerged as a pivotal figure in the Impressionist movement, forging relationships with other avant-garde artists and contributing to the redefinition of modern art. During this middle phase of her career, Cassatt's network expanded considerably. She began to form lasting bonds with key members of the Impressionist circle, including Edgar Degas, with whom she developed a particularly significant friendship. Their mutual admiration extended beyond technical exchange, as they engaged in lively discussions about the nature and purpose of art. Degas' innovative spirit and unconventional approach provided Cassatt with both inspiration and a model for challenging established artistic norms. Together, they often critiqued traditional academic conventions, and through these interactions, Cassatt's work started to reflect a balance between delicate observation and bold experimentation. At this juncture, Cassatt's work began to receive broader recognition, not only in France, but also internationally. Her participation in various group exhibitions provided her with a platform to showcase her evolving techniques, and her work started to capture the attention of art critics and collectors. The critical acclaim she garnered was not merely a testament to her technical proficiency, but also an acknowledgement of her ability to capture the intimate and complex realities of everyday life. Her portraits, domestic interiors, and depictions of social interaction resonated deeply with contemporary audiences, who found her ability to illuminate the subtleties of human relationships both refreshing and profound. Beyond the realm of exhibitions, Cassatt's professional activities during this period extended to printmaking, an endeavor that allowed her to experiment with new techniques and reach a broader audience. Engaging in the medium of etching and lithography, she found innovative ways to express her impressions of modern life. These explorations not only diversified her artistic output, but also helped solidify her reputation as a versatile and forward-thinking artist. As she pushed the boundaries of traditional printmaking, Cassatt contributed to a broader dialogue about the democratization of art, one that emphasized accessibility and the power of visual communication to transcend social divisions. Parallel to her artistic innovations, Cassatt's career was deeply intertwined with her role as a cultural ambassador between the United States and Europe. As an American artist working within the European avant-garde, she frequently bridged the gap between the distinct artistic traditions of the Old World and the emerging sensibilities of the New World. This dual identity infused her work with a unique perspective, one that celebrated the diversity of human experience while also critiquing the rigid structures of classical art institutions. Her efforts not only broadened the scope of her personal practice, but also helped to elevate the status of American art in international circles. Moreover, Cassatt's contributions during this period extended into the realm of art education and advocacy. Recognizing the barriers that women faced in the professional art world, she became increasingly active in efforts to create more inclusive opportunities for female artists. By mentoring younger women and advocating for their participation in major exhibitions and institutions, she played a critical role in challenging the gendered limitations of her time. This commitment to nurturing emerging talent and championing diversity in art was a defining characteristic of her career and set a precedent that would resonate long after her time. Amid these professional achievements, Mary Cassatt maintained a persistent focus on her personal artistic vision. Her work during these years continued to explore themes of domesticity, maternity, and the quiet dignity of everyday life. However, rather than simply replicating traditional subjects, Cassatt imbued them with a sense of immediacy and modernity. Her nuanced representations of familial bonds and intimate moments spoke to a broader cultural shift, a move towards a more personal, experiential understanding of art. This shift was not merely aesthetic, it was reflective of deeper social transformations, including changing attitudes towards gender roles and individual identity. The social and political changes of the time served to heighten Cassatt's awareness of her position as an artist and as a woman within a rapidly evolving society. As industrialization and urbanization reshaped the fabric of daily life, she became increasingly attuned to the contrasts between public and private spheres. Her work began to reflect this tension, capturing not only the physical spaces inhabited by her subjects, but also the emotional landscapes that defined them. In doing so, she contributed to an ongoing conversation about the nature of modern existence, one that recognized the complexity of personal experience amidst the backdrop of societal transformation. As she moved further into her middle period, Cassatt's career was marked by a deepening of her commitment to exploring the interplay between light, color, and form. She experimented with innovative compositional structures, using subtle contrasts and unconventional perspectives to enhance the emotional depth of her work. Her keen observational skills allowed her to imbue even the most mundane scenes with an almost lyrical quality, transforming everyday moments into meditative reflections on life and identity. This evolution in her technique paralleled the broader shifts occurring within the art world, as artists moved away from rigid academic traditions toward a more fluid and expressive mode of representation. Throughout this transformative phase, Mary Cassatt exemplified resilience and adaptability. Confronted with the challenges of carving out a distinct identity in a male-dominated field, she persevered with unwavering determination. Her ability to merge technical skill with bold, innovative ideas not only set her apart from her contemporaries, but also established her as a pioneer whose influence would extend far into the future. As she navigated the complexities of the art world, she remained a passionate advocate for the power of creativity to enact social change, a vision that would continue to inform her work in the decades that followed. By the end of this significant middle period, Cassatt's professional and personal identities had become profoundly intertwined. Her career was no longer just a pursuit of artistic perfection. It had evolved into a mission to capture the nuances of modern life and to challenge the limitations imposed by traditional conventions. This period of growth not only solidified her status as a central figure in the Impressionist movement, but also laid the groundwork for the enduring legacy she would leave behind. As Mary Cassatt continued to refine her craft and expand her influence, she emerged as a powerful voice, one that bridged diverse worlds, championed innovation, and celebrated the timeless beauty of human connection. In the final phase of her illustrious career, Mary Cassatt not only cemented her status as a pioneering figure in modern art, but also embraced a role as an educator, advocate, and cultural bridge between continents. Her later years were characterized by a sustained commitment to nurturing the next generation of artists and a persistent engagement with the evolving cultural landscape. While her technical mastery and innovative approach had already earned her a place among the foremost figures in the Impressionist movement, Cassatt's enduring influence extended far beyond her canvas. As Cassatt matured as an artist, she increasingly saw herself as a mentor and champion for those facing the same challenges she had once encountered. Her experiences as a woman in a predominantly male-dominated art world had instilled in her a fervent desire to foster opportunities for emerging female artists. Through her active participation in art societies, salons, and exhibitions, Cassatt worked tirelessly to create platforms where young women could showcase their talent and exchange ideas. She frequently offered advice and support to students, encouraging them to explore both traditional techniques and experimental methods without being confined by the expectations of the time. This advocacy not only opened doors for future generations, but also contributed to a gradual transformation in the perception of women's roles in the arts, both in Europe and back home in the United States. Cassatt's commitment to art education was further evidenced by her involvement in a number of formal and informal teaching endeavors. She participated in workshops and lecture series where she shared her experiences and insights on composition, color theory, and the expressive potential of everyday subjects. In these educational settings, she emphasized the importance of observation and sensitivity to the human condition, a perspective that had defined her own work. Her lectures often went beyond technical instruction, addressing the broader societal implications of art and stressing its power as a medium for personal and social expression. Through these engagements, Cassatt provided aspiring artists with a framework for understanding how art could serve as a force for change, bridging personal creativity with larger cultural narratives. The later years of Cassatt's career were also marked by a reflective quality. As she observed the rapid industrial and social transformations taking place around her, she became increasingly introspective about the role of art in documenting and influencing societal change. This period was one of synthesis, during which she integrated the lessons learned from decades of artistic experimentation with the insights gleaned from her interactions with a diverse array of cultural thinkers. Her mature work encapsulated themes of domesticity, identity, and the subtle interplay between public expectations and private realities. Although she had long established herself as an innovative painter, Cassatt now approached her art with a sense of purpose that transcended aesthetics. She viewed her work as a chronicle of an era marked by profound change, a visual testimony to the evolution of society, gender roles, and the very nature of human connection. In addition to her educational and reflective pursuits, Cassatt remained deeply engaged with the international art community. She continued to exhibit her work in major cultural centers, forging bonds with artists, collectors, and critics from across the globe. Her reputation as an American expatriate in Paris had evolved into that of a cosmopolitan artist whose work resonated with diverse audiences. This transatlantic dialogue further enriched her practice, exposing her to new artistic trends and reinforcing her belief in the universality of creative expression. The cultural exchanges she facilitated not only contributed to the diffusion of Impressionist ideas, but also helped lay the groundwork for later movements that would challenge the boundaries between art forms and disciplines. Despite facing the inevitable challenges of aging, Cassatt's creative spirit remained undiminished. In her later works, there was a noticeable shift toward introspection and an acceptance of the passage of time. The portraits, domestic scenes, and studies of everyday moments that had defined much of her career took on new layers of meaning, imbued with a quiet gravitas that reflected her accumulated wisdom and life experiences. Her art during this period was less about capturing the ephemeral excitement of modern life and more about meditating on the enduring constants of human experience: love, loss, hope, and resilience. This evolution in her thematic focus resonated with audiences who were likewise grappling with the complexities of a rapidly changing world, and it ensured that her legacy would be remembered as much for its emotional depth as for its technical brilliance. Mary Cassatt's impact on the art world was not confined solely to her visual output. Her writings, personal correspondence, and recorded interviews offer valuable insights into her philosophy of art and life, revealing an artist who was both deeply introspective and boldly outward-looking. These documents serve as a window into her internal world, providing a nuanced understanding of how she reconciled her personal experiences with the broader cultural shifts of her time. They reflect her belief that art was a powerful tool for personal expression and social commentary, a belief that inspired countless artists to view their creative endeavors as integral to the fabric of society. As the final chapters of her life unfolded, Cassatt continued to champion the causes of equality, innovation, and the democratization of art. Even as the art world underwent significant transformations with the rise of modernism and abstract expressionism, she remained steadfast in her commitment to representational art that celebrated the everyday. Her legacy, therefore, is not solely a matter of historical record. It is a living influence that continues to inspire contemporary artists and educators alike. In reflecting on Mary Cassatt's later years, it becomes evident that her contributions went far beyond the boundaries of the canvas. She played an instrumental role in reshaping the contours of art education, bridging transatlantic divides, and challenging the gender norms of her time. Her life's work stands as a testament to the transformative power of art, a reminder that creativity, when coupled with determination and empathy, can indeed alter the course of history. As we look back upon her remarkable journey, we see not just an artist who captured the essence of modern life, but a visionary whose insights and advocacy continue to illuminate the enduring potential of artistic expression for generations to come.